You
I
could
gotta
work with
stop doing
someone
that this week.
every week for 4 years and don't really know that person
Wow.
at all.
Mm.
Mm. What's going on with the NWSL? We're in the playoffs, and I am now gonna
Transition.
watch.
What's a
I
transition?
am. We don't know each
Oh my
other.
gosh. Well, this is Shana,
And Kris.
and we are Bad Queers. If you came out of the closet and got put in a box of stereotypes you don't belong to, then welcome to the Bad Queers Club.
All right, this week in Queer Urban Dictionary, I have masculine of center, or MOC, which we've defined before, but we're gonna go back through some of these terms. So, masculine of center is a broad gender expression term used to describe a person who identifies or presents as more masculine than feminine. Masculine of center is most often used in communities of color and has implicit socio-cultural connotations to both gender equality and racial justice. The coinage of the term masculine of center is attributed to B. Cole, who is a race and gender equality activist from Oakland, California, and founder of the Brown Boys Project. MOC, masculine of center.
MOC. All right.
I feel like I graduated from stud to masculine of
Honestly,
center.
you're taking us
Felt
on the
like it was
journey.
the,
You're taking
yeah,
us on the masculine journey, and I appreciate that. It's almost like a mini series.
yeah. We're in this together. A mini series is funny. I don't know what season I'm on, but see where we go. See where we're headed.
Well, I have the opposite. So my Queer Urban Dictionary word of the week is femtop fall.
Hmm.
Femtop fall. It is a trend that's happening on TikTok that celebrates femme queer people who take an active role during sex and incentivizes femtops of the internet to show themselves with pride this fall. Right in the midst of cuffing season, I feel like it's great timing, it's good advertising, great press. We love to see it. My sentence for this week is signs of femtop fall include the leaves changing, a little chill in the air, and plenty of femtops roaming the streets. Femtop
Femtop
fall.
fall sounds like a ASOS like heading, you know, to
Honestly,
put in an app.
they should do that.
It absolutely, you know, feels ASOS-ish,
Mm,
you know. Mm. Mm.
I like that. ASOS, you're welcome.
Femtop fall.
Femtop fall.
New category.
There we go.
New category.
All right, let's go ahead and praise, pray tell. Our first category is that the Grammy Award announcements have come out. It is about to be award show season, and we are preparing for a lot of fuckery in this
Yeah.
dancery. Hateration, holleration, all the above. But of course, we're going to be on here only highlighting the Black queer artists and Beyonce. So let's talk about who was nominated amongst the Black LGBTQ plus artists. So first up, we got Doechii. Doechii was nominated for Best New Artist, Best Rap Album, Best Rap Performance, and Best
Well
Remixed Recording.
deserved.
Duran Bernard got Best Progressive R&B Album. Kaytranada, Best Dance slash Electronic Album, Best Dance slash Electronic Recording, and Best Remixed Recording. Kehlani had Best R&B Song, Best Progressive R&B Album, Best Melodic Rap Performance, which I don't understand the melodic rap
Yeah.
section.
Yeah.
But you know, we're going to go with it. Avery Wilson, Best Musical Theater Album for The Wiz, and Willow Smith, Best Engineered Album Non-Classical, and Best Arrangement, Instruments, and Vocals. So we love to see our people out here. I hope there's some winners. Doechii deserves
Oh yeah.
a lot.
That new artist category is like,
A
whoa.
lot.
That's
Yeah, the Best New Artist
there's
category
yeah.
is a race.
Yeah. It may be one of the better ones in like since I can remember in
Mhm.
years. I mean,
Mhm.
it's top to bottom. Like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know who wins that because it's yeah. You got Shabuzi in there too. Like
Mhm.
it's
The
only like
disrespect.
heavy hitters, like early legends. You know, it's like Sabrina Carpenter, Doechii, Shabuzi, Chappell Roan. Like it's
Mhm.
like, who do you pick out of that? They've all
Right.
had like incredible years. So it'll be interesting. I was like, ooh, I saw that category. I was like, ooh,
I was like,
this
good
is
luck, y'all.
this
Good luck.
is yeah. You are all winners,
Okay.
like for real,
Yeah,
all winners.
do the Mean Girls where she breaks the crown and just break the Grammy and just toss
Yeah,
pieces. Share it.
yeah, that's
Here.
so funny.
Here.
Mm-mm-mm.
And of course, we're doing special shout out to Beyonce, who has now become in her own category, the most nominated artist ever of all time. She has last year she beat Jay-Z, but it was by like a smaller margin. Now it's like she's in a whole nother ether and she still has another album coming out. So there's going to be more of these and
Mhm.
she's just going to continue to be at an impossible reach. And she deserves. So she
Yeah.
had 11 Grammy nominations for this Grammy cycle. The album Cowboy Carter got nominated for Album of the Year and Best Country Album. Texas Hold'em was nominated for Record of the Year, Song of the Year, and Best Country Song. 16 Carriages, Best Country Solo Performance. Two Most Wanted, Best Country Duo / Group Performance. Spaghetti, Best Melodic Rap Performance. Again, questions, but I'm also like, this is like what Beyonce does. So if you just made the category so that you could put another song of Beyonce's in that category, that's awesome. Levi's Jeans, Best Pop Duo Group Performance. Yaya, Best American Performance. And Bodyguard, Best Pop Solo Performance. Out of all of these, which random category do you think she will win? Because
Yeah.
they refuse to give this woman Album of the Year. They refuse.
See, that's the thing. I think that she wins Best Country Album and loses Album of the
Album of
Year.
the
I
Year.
think it's exactly the setup for it because they'd be like, hey,
Like, what do you mean?
yeah,
We did one
it's
controversial thing. Here we
yeah.
are. Here
That
we
is
are.
my earliest bet is that they're absolutely going to give Beyonce Best Country Album, does not win Album of the Year.
That's going to be our
Um,
redemption for the election is Beyonce winning Best Country Album. That's the only. They're going to be like, look what we did. Look what we gave
yeah.
you.
Yeah,
Like, get
it's
out
going
of
to
my
be the
face.
2025 iteration of them getting like Uncle Ben off something. Like they're like, look what we
Mhm.
did. This symbolic thing. She won Best Country Album. So that, yeah, that is. I was sad not to see Two Hands to Heaven. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of great songs off of Cowboy Carter, but yeah. And then I text you about before I saw Two Most Wanted. I thought
Mhm.
that they left that off, and Levi's Jeans had made it, and I was like, what is with this fuck? And I love the song, but just my problems with it, where I'm just
Mhm.
like,
Mhm.
oh.
But we knew
But
it was
it's such a
for
good
the
song.
marketing. The
Yeah,
marketing.
I was like that commercial.
Business decision.
Time it's on. Hey, I watch it every time it comes on.
Hey,
The commercial.
and that's
So
on allyship. Okay.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I think that's yeah. Though I think she'll win country best country
That
album.
would be hilarious if she wins Best Country Album and not Album of the Year.
You know they're gonna play her like that. You
With
know they're
after
gonna play her
hearing
like
the
that.
anonymous people report after they voted to be like Beyonce wins too much. It's like shut the
Hmm.
fuck up. Like,
Yeah, that's what
and
she's up
Jay-Z did
against.
his speech. He brought Blue Ivy up there last time after he got his Dr. Dre award
Hmm.
and reminded them that how is she going to be the most nominated person and never win an album of the year? And he tried to be
Yeah,
kind and be like, music's subjective, but
her wearing that gallon-sized cowboy hat, which was obviously foreshadowing. So
brilliant. Still
yeah,
brilliant.
still great,
Mm-hmm.
still great. So we'll see. We'll see. I was very happy for Duran Bernard. Um, Everybody who got nominated. This is pretty queer, which is great. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
we're not even talking about the white queers who
We're not.
got nominated too, but like this is pretty gay as hell. It's pretty gay.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
we'll see.
I mean, for the Grammys.
For the Grammys,
We are
yeah.
realistic, okay?
Yeah.
Not like in general, not other people who
No,
are coming and listening to
no,
this and
it's
being like, oh my
not.
God, yes, Bad
It's
Queer said it
not.
was diverse.
Yeah.
Relax.
Yeah.
We are just highlighting, amplifying the Black queer folks in Beyonce.
Yeah. What does Billie Eilish wear?
Whose uncle is she dressing up as?
Yeah. What
Is
Stacey
the question.
Adams suit will Billie Eilish put on? Like what do you think she goes Kings of Comedy? Like full Kings of Comedy?
Ooh. I mean,
I think she does.
she just
Uh,
saw Kelly Rowland come out for the election, so she may
she was
not,
like,
she may have
and
had
that's
to,
what I mean. She was like,
maybe she had to
Kris,
change it
Kris is
because she saw
Kris.
Kelly do it and she was like, ah, she took
Yeah.
my outfit.
Yeah. You remember in The Mask when he was like in a zoot suit like, with Jim
Ooh,
Carrey, where
yeah.
the yellow, like, I think
Mm-hmm.
she's gonna just
With the hat.
to recreate that look because it's like obviously this, but this is also like a soft launch to the Met Gala, which she's just gonna take it to a crazy level. She is gonna have
Mm-hmm.
untold amount of like material, like clothing, like access
Yeah.
material. Like it's gonna be unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal.
What's
Yeah.
the, hold on. For the people who don't know, I gotta pull this up. I'm pulling this up for
Oh, for the Met Gala.
Gala 2024. Okay, so just so everybody knows that the theme for, no, I need Met Gala 2025. Forgetting
Mhm.
it's next year. Oh my gosh. So, just so you all know, if you have not heard the theme for the 2025 Met Gala, the 2025 Met Gala theme is super fine, tailoring Black style. All of the panelists were Black or Black queer folks, and this is what they decided. And I said, not y'all giving a layup for the potentially problematic event of all time.
Yeah.
Like, people are going to show up
Yeah.
and show out, but also to see the interpretations.
Yeah. It's
I
gonna be
might
so funny.
actually sit down and watch the whole stair entrance of the Met Gala because usually I watch like a little bit and then I pass.
Mm-hmm.
I might watch the whole thing this time
Shana, this is
around.
going to be the most streamed one ever. Like
Literally.
I cannot wait because you're right. The people that they put on the panel, and I guess they decided, dude, the people that are on the panel, like I know it's like LeBron, Lewis Hamilton,
Coleman
um,
Domingo.
Domingo. Um, they decided the theme, right? Is that how it works?
Yeah,
So
they're all like
like
the
they
co-chairs.
did that
ASAP
for
Rocky,
us. ASAP. Yeah. So
Pharrell.
they did it for us, like as in like for us, but
Mm.
also for us. They did it for us. Like it's gonna be,
I
I can't wait to see.
I want to sit at home with my own
It's gonna be great.
cards, my own number cards, so that I can
What day is it? It's
10.
it's usually around Cinco de
Let me find
Mayo.
out. Hold
When
on.
is it? Yeah, it's
I'm over
like
here.
May.
I got you.
Like the first week of May.
When
It's
is
like a
May
Solange
5th?
holiday.
May 5th.
May 5th, Cinco de
Mm-hmm.
Mayo.
Cinco de
Wow.
Mayo.
Wow. We're not
Five
gonna have a
five
lot
twenty
of
five.
we're
Five
not gonna
five 25.
we're not gonna have a lot of wins in 2025, but let me tell you,
This
May
one is
5th,
gonna be it.
if they don't cancel this, if it still goes on, it's gonna,
Oh
yeah,
man.
it's gonna be little
It's gonna be
nuggets of joy. It's gonna be
glorious.
crazy. It's gonna be
Glorious.
crazy. It's gonna be crazy. Like the
I can we
train,
make a
like,
bingo card? Can we make like a bingo card of what we'll see? Because I
yeah,
need it.
we gotta
I need it.
it will be funny to do something for
I
that.
need
It
it.
has to be a bingo card or something
I
because
need it.
I can't wait. It's gonna be amazing. But anyways, we'll shout out to everybody who got a Grammy nomination
Hmm.
and those who didn't and still had good work. So,
All
right.
right. Let's head over to our next category is we're back with sports. We had a brief break, but now college
It's kicked
women's
off.
college basketball is out. We've got some power rankings for you. The National Women's Soccer League, they're off in the playoffs. Things are happening.
Yeah.
Shall we talk about basketball first? Let's talk about basketball.
Yeah, let's get into basketball. So for both of these things, we are both getting caught up. I watched some of South Carolina's game against NC State on Sunday, but
Hmm.
the season is very young. So right now, the ESPN power rankings have South Carolina as number one, they're 2-0. UConn, number two.
Hmm.
Gonna be interesting to see what Paige does this year.
Hmm.
USC Trojans are number three. Texas, number four, and number five, UCLA Bruins. Just do the top five for now. I'll say six because that's LSU is right there. It's gonna be interesting. We
I
also
know,
didn't
I was
talk
about to
about
say,
all
folks were
the
wondering.
coaches that got fired in the WNBA, but we'll get to that in a second.
Oh, we
Any
did. We did talk
Did
about
we
the
talk about
coaches.
all of them?
Yes.
All
Oh,
because there
yeah,
was
we did.
more that got. We
But
didn't talk
now,
about Indiana's coach. There was a
no, we
couple
did.
other coaches that
We did.
happened after
No, we talked about them.
that.
We said that at the point we got to half the league had lost their coaches. Some of them have now
Okay,
hired.
good.
Some of
Yeah.
them have now hired. We haven't talked about any of the hirings, but we have talked about
Mm.
the firings.
I still think Kim Mulkey leaves at some point and goes to the WNBA. I
I
don't
don't
know for
know.
what
It has
gig,
so
but I
much fun
think
with the
she
children.
leaves.
She is no, because she is living her best life at LSU. She's got private jets. She's got
Yeah.
like one of the highest contracts. Like those coaches are not leaving those types of schools. Like between Dawn
Yeah.
and Kim Mulkey, they're not going anywhere.
I think
They are
Dawn is
getting
there to
paid like
stay.
NBA coaches. that is how well they are being treated. They're being highlighted in that way. They can
Well,
literally do
see,
whatever they
this
want.
is for now though, because in a couple years, and I think if I were to choose between Dawn leaving and Kim leaving, I think Kim would go before because you're right. It's a sweet gig in college sports, especially for college coaches and the bigger sports across the board. But the WNBA money is going to start to look very different soon. So I do wonder
I
how
was
long
like, I don't
somebody
know if
like
it's
a
gonna look that
Kim
different for
stays
college.
and all that.
The university
So
pockets are hit different. And unless
they
like until the
do.
WNBA hits hits NBA status, I don't think Kim is going anywhere. Like Kim is very cush lush. She literally got
Yeah.
a whole brand new locker room within like her first couple years. Like
So the money that's going to be in the WNBA and with the new contract that they signed and stuff like that, I think it's going to look different though. Like I think it's not going to be too far off,
it's
if
gonna
not
look
more,
different,
because of the
but I don't think it's
money,
gonna
the
look
new money,
that different.
there'll be some shuffles in ownership of these WNBA teams too, because there's so
There
much
has to
money to
be.
be made.
There has to
Whereas
be.
yes, women's sports is funded well now. I don't know how that looks in a couple years at the college level. And I don't know the investment into women's sports in particular, because like a LSU football is all like nothing's going to change about that. That money's going to keep going. I'm very interested to see with like Trump in office and the Department of Education
Mm,
probably going somewhere.
mm.
Will there be the same investment in women's sports? Whereas like the pro level, I guess is what I mean. I only see that rising because the money and the value is going up. Whereas like college can be finicky. I'm very interested to see how it's
They
funded
can be, but the
after this.
NIL deals that are
So
getting the highest numbers and the highest turnaround are coming from women athletes. And
yeah,
two
for
of the
now.
highest
For
ones
now.
were at LSU.
Yeah.
So
So
it's
I know
like,
now that that's like that. I'm saying it's going to be interesting to see the trajectory of the two. I think it's going to remain popular and the big schools are going to be the big schools, but yeah, let's see. Let's see. I think they're moving the upside, I guess, to WNBA
yeah.
money is going
I
to be
think
a
the
little bit
big thing is
higher.
we have to get rid of the commissioner. And then it's gonna
Yeah, that's a
then
big thing.
then it's
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
put NECA in. And then all the things that you're saying, I 100% agree with.
NECA better hire
Okay.
you because you have been speaking this job for NECA into experience
Ah,
into fruition. Like,
yo,
yeah,
NECA, I will be the best executive assistant ever, chief of staff, whatever you want. I got you.
yeah.
Okay.
Listen,
Because I'm gonna be here for
there's
it.
game tape of Tinto's down. It is literally
I want it. I want it for her
yeah,
so badly. I am rooting for her so hard
yeah,
to be the next
yeah.
commissioner. It is
I mean,
only
she'd be
right.
great at it.
It's
She'd be great
only
at it.
right.
She'd
She's
be
out
great
here
at it.
running a business while she's working two jobs, being
Yeah.
in charge of the WNBPA and being a player,
Hmm.
being the
Gonna
supportive
be
big sister,
interesting.
all the
It's
things.
going to be interesting.
I
But
am,
yeah, I think the ownership is the next thing that you'll see changes in because what they saw with the Psy family, the owners of the Liberty, is that flip, that return on investment. And like
yeah.
it's only gonna go up because and again, watching how the NBA too has like there's been changes in ownership. I know like Mark Cuban, who's still in the organization, but he doesn't own isn't a majority owner. Like I think there's gonna be some new owners that come in the league. They've already
hmm
talked about
I
Patrick
mean, you saw
Mahomes
about
and all that.
Jason Tatum
Jason Tatum, Patrick
making
Mahomes.
making the
Ugh.
$200 million move to bring the WNBA to
Yeah.
St. Louis, which I am here
Yeah.
for because that's near me, which means we're
Yeah.
going to start having a little Midwest conglomerate of
Which would be
things to
great.
have Indiana, Chicago, and St. Louis. I'd be like, get Milwaukee,
Yeah.
and we'll have a whole
So
little Midwest
so there's gonna be
contingent.
some more, there's gonna be some new money in the league looking give these
Get
coaches a
on
bag.
this.
Like now again, LSU and South Carolina, like those two ladies like own those towns. Like there's no reason to leave. But
Hmm
give it I'd say the next 3 to 5 years, because even to flip some of the ownership is going to take like a year or so for some of these things. But there's going to be a lot of money in the WNBA, and they're going to be like, Kim, Dawn, name
Come
it.
on up.
Name what do you want? What
Come
do
on
you
up.
want?
I was like, Don's gonna be
So
like, what else can I do? I have gifted
yeah,
you
that part
so many
too for
great
both of
people.
them.
What else do you want me to do? You want to take away
Yeah,
your number one pipeline to the
yeah. But I don't know. You're right. I mean, listen, traditionally, like somebody like Gino, I mean, obviously, I'm sure he's clearly gotten calls before, but
Oh yeah.
he hasn't left. So there is a lot of power in being the big person on college campus. But sometimes that pro level money in different sports, they come by and like, they're trying to do that now with Deion Sanders, where they're like,
Oh yeah, they're trying to get him and his son over to New York,
yeah,
and they're
yeah,
like,
New York
"Come and do
Cowboys
it."
are now looking at it. And again, it's just like, and Deion's like, I never want to coach in the pros. And it's just like, but if Jerry Jones comes to him and gives him a deal worth, he's gonna do it. So
I would have
we'll
so much
see.
fun. I would go back to being a diehard Cowboys fan if
You were a Cowboys fan?
you are so shocked at this every time I have
Wow.
said this
I
before. It is
don't
on
remember you saying
record. It is
that.
on record. Remember,
Wow.
I had to
Wow.
choose.
I
I had to
don't remember
choose
it.
between the Commanders
Mm,
and the
mm.
Cowboys in the
You were in
90s. So
DC as
obviously I was
a
picking the
uh,
Cowboys
yeah,
because the
yeah.
90s
Winners.
Cowboys.
You look
So
winners, yeah.
that's what that was. I was a smart child. I was like,
You would have picked
why
the Cowboys on Little
y'all look
Giants, the
sad.
movie. You
Yeah,
wouldn't have been the
literally that.
Giants. You would have been the
Literally that.
Cowboys. I did love the jersey. The ones with the stars are just, I mean, come on.
Like,
Top
what can
top
you
10
do?
jerseys.
What
Yeah.
can you do? But
No,
yes, I am not.
that's
I am not like.
crazy.
I am an inherited Cowboys fan. I'm not like a.
Mm. Hmm. Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
all the
How do I forget that you
time.
were a Cowboys
This.
fan? I
You knew this
probably just
information.
like
Out of our four
disassociated from
years,
it.
5 years, we've known each other for longer than
Woof.
that. So it's
Do you
like,
know
no,
what?
you know
Do you
this.
know what fan I'm a team of?
Oh, I should know this.
This is
Aren't you a
funny.
Ravens
See, there
fan?
we go. No, girl.
Damn, that was
No.
disrespectful, wasn't it? You didn't
Mm-mm.
like
It
that.
was.
I'm
It
so
actually
sorry.
is. You said
Damn.
Ravens?
Yeah.
Literally the opposite.
Oh no.
Yeah, see? I know I've said this. So,
Damn.
yeah, we don't know each other.
Damn.
We're not having a
Do we
second
have to
date. It's the
reevaluate?
Steelers. It's the Steelers.
That's what I thought.
I'm a Steelers
I
fan. So
said
you say
Steelers
Ravens,
first
I'm
in
like
my head, and then I
literally
said Ravens.
yeah. So I was like
I
close, but
second guessed myself.
no.
I second guessed
Yeah.
myself because I was like, no,
We
you are a
don't know
Steelers
each
fan.
other.
I
We
knew that
we don't
because
know each other.
that was my first thought, but I went with my heart.
You
I
could
gotta
work with
stop doing
someone
that this week.
every week for 4 years and don't really know that person
Wow.
at all.
Mm.
Mm. What's going on with the NWSL? We're in the playoffs, and I am now going to
Transition.
watch.
What's a
I
transition?
am. We don't know each
Oh my
other.
gosh. Well, if you did not know, Orlando has been having a tear all through the season.
Hmm.
They're back. They're back in business.
Okay.
They haven't felt this good since Allie and Ashlyn were still together and
Mm.
Sydney LaRue is still on the team. So
Wow.
we're back
What a time.
by popular demand.
What a time. They were tearing up Girls in Wonderland. Some
Okay.
of Sydney might have been there, but
Sydney was,
Sydney
I
might have
feel
been
like
there. She could have
Cindy
been
kind of
there. She could
dabbled.
have
I feel
rolled.
like
She
she
could have
had to have
rolled.
dabbled.
She could have
She could have
rolled.
been
She
there.
could
The
have rolled.
tats with
She
the
could
hair.
have rolled.
I bet she
She's
did.
hanging out.
I bet she
Cool,
did.
ally. She could
Look,
have rolled.
I mean, I think she's dabbled.
You got a little hosting gig at this.
Just
Y'all go.
a little
A
dabble.
festival. Yeah, ain't no problem. And she plays soccer. Soccer's like gay as
Come on.
fuck. Like, so you
Come on.
have to have gay friends in soccer. Like,
Yeah, and she's like best friends with all
come
the
on.
gays.
Yeah. So what a time in Orlando. They were probably, whew, well, actually, never mind. Just go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, I am.
Lot of tangents.
But right now,
Yeah.
Orlando is continuing on that streak. They were undefeated, I think, for all of the regular season. They may have only lost like one game if they did. And then came into the playoffs. We knew, we were hopeful for Chicago, but we knew that Chicago was going to lose in the first round, and Chicago did to the Orlando Pride. Orlando won 4-1. They are in the semifinals, and it is a glorious time for everybody to see. Kansas City Current, North Carolina Courage. That's a very great battle, but the Courage,
Current courage.
Current Courage, but that Courage lost. So Kansas City is out here
Courage
doing the things. They're off to the semifinals as well. We are very excited to see that. Kansas City has been doing really well. I mean, with all of the things that they're building and doing. I was like, I think Patrick Mahomes is also trying to root for a WNBA team to come there and for him to also be an investor in just all the women's sports.
Him and Brittany
So,
Holmes.
here for it.
Brittany Holmes.
Keep it going.
They were
Washington
like, good
Spirit.
luck with a Black queer activist league, Brittany Holmes. Like,
Yeah, they said, well,
good luck.
We know who our parents voted for and we know who they voted for. We're just, we're just gonna have to take your money for the greater good. And I hate to say it. So yeah, Washington Spirit, BAFC has had a great season, has had a good season, but Washington came out strong. Honestly, the Spirit are doing their things. Okay,
Hmm.
they're out here. Trinity Rodman dancing, just
Hmm.
dancing all over the place. So Washington Spirit made it. It was 2-1 against Bay FC. They're looking good, feeling great. And then
Shout out to
team that I
BFC. I
love.
know it was the first season, right? First season? Was this
Is it
his?
full season? Is
No.
this the first season?
Second?
Second season?
First or second?
Live Googles.
I know they're not a junior.
No, I feel like this is their first season. How many
Okay.
seasons has Bay FC been around?
Well, it was founded in
It
2023.
was
So
born in 2023. So yeah, this is their
yeah,
first
so
like full season.
first season. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for them. You
Yeah.
know?
We love
Good for
that.
them.
Making it to the
Yeah.
playoffs. Good for
Hmm.
you. In the
Yeah.
quarterfinals. Good for
Good for
you.
them. Yeah.
They did lose, but it's okay because that's a
You
great
know,
first start. That's a
it's a
great first
great
start.
first start.
Also, the vibes at the stadium, because I did go to a game. The vibes at the stadium are
Oh yeah.
fantastic.
How was that? It's good. Was it
Fantastic.
San Jose?
Yeah,
Okay.
I had a
Hmm.
blast. I was like, I know
Hmm.
that they're building the practice area, or is it for the Valkyries? No, it's for Bay FC that they're building the practice area on Treasure Island
Oh.
in the Bay. So
Hmm.
turning Treasure Island into kind of like a workout
Geographically, that's
facility.
interesting. Very interesting
They're trying to,
geographically.
spread
Hopefully
it
that's
around
for
the
the
Bay.
Valkyries. Oh, okay. Okay.
I don't know. I thought that was
Yeah,
for the
that's kind
Valkyries.
of
Is it for
ahead.
no? Because
Is
the
it for the
Valkyries are going to practice at Golden State.
Oh, yeah, in this in SF. So
In
then Bay FC plays their games in San Jose and then
yes,
they're gonna train in Treasure Island.
yes, trying to spread it around. They're doing
Mm,
their best. I don't
good.
think it's supposed to like long-term strategy. They're not supposed to stay in San Jose.
Okay. I would
So we'll see
imagine
because obviously nobody has
they're gonna go
replaced
somewhere.
the A's or the stadium
Yeah.
next to it.
They're
So
trying to get somebody, child.
this is a very niche
Yeah.
conversation for everybody
It
listening. If you
is.
look
Deep
up some
cut.
Bay Area stuff,
Deep cut.
all the
Yeah.
people in the Bay who are listening are like, we know exactly
Yeah.
what you're talking about.
Treasure
So
Island is
yes,
fascinating to me, by the way, but we'll
I
talk
thought it
about
was
that some
sinking.
other day. I thought, wasn't it like
So I'm like,
radioactive or
why
it's
are
like
we?
poisonous stuff? Like they
I
used to test
There's
things
a
on it, and
lot
now
of
there's like
things, and they're like,
apartments,
we're gonna build stuff, and we're gonna
apartments,
have continue
luxury,
having wineries over
luxury.
here and
Yeah.
do the stuff. And I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't feel like this is
I'm
safe.
like, should we
Also,
be on here?
what is traffic looking like? Or are they gonna sponsor a
That's
ferry
what I'm
for them to go
saying.
back and
That's
forth to Treasure
crazy.
Island? Is there a ferry that already goes to Treasure Island?
I'm sure there is.
Yeah, there
I
should
mean,
be.
there's a ferry obviously that goes into, from Vallejo, from
Yeah,
Oakland, so I'm sure there is a Treasure Island
yeah.
ferry, but that's a crazy thing
What a
to
time.
like. Where do you live? Where would you pick to live in the Bay? I guess
I don't
you
know.
know, it's
Maybe
okay.
Oakland.
Again, very deep, deep cut
Oakland would probably be
conversation.
easiest.
Yeah,
It's
you would
split.
probably want to live in the East Bay. I mean,
Yeah,
you might want to live on that the peninsula,
yeah.
but it's expensive. I don't think they
But it's really cute.
have the salaries,
So
but
yeah, I don't
they
know.
might. They might.
Maybe.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
last
Best of
game,
luck to them.
Gotham FC versus Portland. Gotham. This game, this game was wild because Rose Lavelle scored in like the latest of late extra time. Rose Lavelle scored in the 97th minute that secured them going into the semifinals against the Portland Thorns, which was also sad because that meant it is Christine Sinclair's last game and
Hmm.
she's fully retired and off and doing the thing. So I am a Gotham FC stan, if you would, because,
Hmm.
anything associated with Ali Krieger, I'm going to be a fan of. So
Hmm.
love me some Gotham FC. I also love how they run their organization and the people that they have in charge. So,
Yeah. Also, just great colors in New York,
mm,
with Gotham, with the Liberty, like that black and that like tealish thing is
hmm
like the Statue of Liberty color is like
yeah,
really cool.
it's
I
very
also
good.
always like that they called themselves Gotham FC just as a Batman
Yeah.
person. Well,
hmm
former Batman person.
hmm
Um,
hmm
yeah.
But yeah,
Beautiful,
so
beautiful jerseys. And that means something in this
it
show.
really
There's a
does.
lot of pride,
It
you
really
know.
does.
Hmm.
Yes. So yeah,
So
so lots of NWSL coming up. Be sure to catch the games, watch them, cheer for them, watch the basketball, watch them, cheer for them. We want to keep this energy going year round.
yeah. Yeah. When does Unrivaled start? That starts soon.
Yeah, they're
Stewie
making
and
all their announcements and stuff.
what's McCall
Well,
thing? That
they
I know
have
it's like winter,
they have
something next
the
year.
AU. AU is doing their draft
It is. Mhm.
soon, and then AU Pro Sports for basketball is doing it soon, and then Unrivaled has started making their announcements. I thought Unrivaled was starting in January.
I think it is. I know it was
Yeah.
2025, top of 2025. Whoopi announced that she's doing a all women's
Sports Network.
yeah.
Whoopee.
Whoopi. Yeah. who better to do it? I mean, what a wonderful channel that would be. I mean,
Honestly,
that's all my little gay queer self, sporty self wanted as a kid. Is just like, is there a ESPN for gays?
uh-huh. She said if there is a woman playing the sport, it is going to be on that channel. And
So
guess what?
cool.
That means I'm going to be on that channel.
Yeah. It's called, you would be a great play-by-play person, by the way. You have that
Thank
broadcaster,
you.
you know.
Thank you. That would be a
I would
dream
want you
come
to still
true.
do a British. I would want you to go to the interview and do like your your British, your what's-it-called, Ian, whatever the guy's name is that you did for the play-by-play for soccer. God, so funny. But the network is called All Women's Sports Network, AWSN. Um, let's see. Do we have a release date of it, or they're just working on it? Yeah.
So some of it has already been released overseas. She's
Oh,
already
I
gotten like
see.
deals and stuff overseas. So she is working on uh the US, but I think this week,
Yeah,
like I
it
feel
is.
like
It's just
tomorrow or
now.
Friday that she's making more official announcements or surprise announcements. So
Okay.
it's
Yeah,
happening
because this is
soon.
happening
Hmm.
currently. It
Hmm.
says it's now available in the US via the Vizio Watch Free Plus, which everybody has a fucking app. I don't even know what that is. Internationally through in India, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Philippines. What a rollout.
I mean,
Um,
what places to
what
start?
a
Because those wouldn't
places to
be the
start.
places I
Yeah,
would
would not.
assume to start. And I love
Yeah.
that. I love
Yeah.
that that's where
Start
she would
tough.
start. Go
Let's
ahead.
go from here. Yeah. So more broadly in the US soon, but it is available currently on Vizio Watch Free Plus. So I guess Vizio TVs
Vizio.
have an app.
All right. Go
Yep.
ahead,
All
Vizio.
right. Yeah. Shout out to Whoopi.
Whoopee.
And yeah, we'll watch the in dub playoffs. All right. This last category came up. We were talking about this in pre-pro, about Keke Palmer. Keke Palmer has a new memoir, as our category is. In this new memoir, called The Master of Me, The Secret to Controlling Your Narrative, she recounted a few on-set stories. So one of the conflicts was a scheduling conflict with Ryan Murphy while she was filming Scream Queens. Did you watch that Scream Queen? I don't
I
really
couldn't
care
get
about
into
his
it.
horror shows. Yeah.
I couldn't get into it. Anytime it's like a scary something, I'm like, mm-mm,
Yeah.
mm-mm. Even
Yeah.
though it was a cast that I would have been like, yes,
Game to
but
see. Yeah.
no.
Pass. Yeah, that's how I feel about the American Horror Stories
Yeah,
and all
same.
that. Where I'm like, God bless y'all, but no.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyways, Keke had a day off and it had a prior commitment on her day off, but was told late by Murphy and staff that they needed her on her day off. And she said she chose to honor her original obligation. She recounted that this led to Ryan Murphy reportedly ripping into her over the phone, calling her behavior unprofessional. And Keke believes that this incident may have affected her future collaborations with Ryan Murphy after that. Though they came back together after that specific incident and like she thought she smoothed it over, she's said that she had talked to like a co-worker or co-star who said, "Oh, it's like is bad." Like so, and so she does think that that affected her working on, in the Ryan Murphy sphere of shows. He has the same people that he works with all the time, his favorites. So similar to like how he does with Sarah Paulson and Emma Roberts. I know he's doing that a lot with Niecy Nash now. But however, she feels good about standing her ground because she had to tell him that she's a business too. And I was like, I know that's right, Keke.
That's
And tell the
right.
story.
Look,
Tell the story.
look.
I love this, but it's also a thing of like, we talked a couple weeks ago about like the Lee Daniels, Ryan Murphy thing. This is where, for me, calling out me, it gets problematic because it's like he's doing things that are like, I shouldn't support his shows. And I feel like this is part of like, I was like, I don't know if I could do this
Mm-hmm.
with them. It was this story, but also I did watch, it just concluded. The Aaron Hernandez, watched that all the way through. And like I feel like though towards the end of the season it got less problematic, like the first 5 episodes, it's just like
Gee, 5? Jesus.
yeah, I know because
That's
it's
not
like it's such a focus on his sexuality, but it's like a story you can't look away from because like especially in the sports world, like when that and Aaron Hernandez story broke in real life, that was crazy. Like because
Mm-hmm.
of who he was, because he was on the Patriots and the Patriots are so buttoned up, and there's like, oh, Aaron Hernandez might have murdered somebody, and you're like, okay, he'll probably get off, but like, whoa, that's crazy. And then to find
Mm-hmm.
out he murdered other people, like he killed 3 people. It's fascinating. So I wanted to see how they did this story. This was his first installment of American sports story.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just so much of an emphasis on him being bisexual and closeted. And it like the way it's framed is like he really like it leads him to this, the murder and violence and stuff like that. Part football too, but it's the way he frames stuff is so problematic. And again, I give Lee hell and I give Tyler hell for their problematic writing and art, and don't really watch their things anymore. So I feel like in 2025, I want to move to that place with Ryan Murphy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a never say never thing because what I will say for all three of those, all three of them who are from marginalized identities and, have, well, one for Brian, but they do employ a lot of Black and brown people. And I
Mm-hmm.
do like that about them. But, God, they're so problematic. Like, especially Ryan Murphy. Like, Angelica Ross had already called Ryan Murphy out for his behavior, and it's just like
Mm-hmm.
they're not lying. They're not
No,
all lying. So
no,
yeah. So woof.
man, I
Yeah.
am so excited to hear all of these backstories
I
from Keke
know.
Palmer in her book
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the way
She's
she
had a
tells it like it
long
is,
career
the way she
too.
tells it like it is, yes,
Hmm.
she's one of the more unproblematic children stars. So it's like
Yeah. Yeah.
she's been under all of the lenses. She's done
Yeah.
Tyler Perry movies. Now she's done Ryan Murphy things. She has been amongst a lot, and there's a lot more to be listed.
Yeah.
But she has seen it all. So she has the touch in all of the things. Plus, has set like is one of the celebrities who has set the best boundaries, in my opinion. And I know that took a
Mm.
journey to get there, and she is going to break down that journey within her story. But I think she literally has. And like the example that you just gave is a prime example of how she does that. But she has done that for herself and then goes off and does the things that she says she is going to do.
Yeah.
It's just great. Just
It's
great.
great. It's great.
Mm,
Yeah. So
mm.
more stories in there. She mentioned that there was also a racist incident with a co-star who she didn't name but referred to as Brenda on Scream
We know who
Queens.
it was. We all know who it was.
We
She
know
talked
who
about that
it
story
is.
live. We know who that is.
I don't
She
know
didn't
if she
say
thought
that
it.
she was
It's
Brenda,
like,
but we know
okay. But
exactly who it
maybe
was.
legally it's like, okay, girl, Brenda girl. Yeah, yeah,
She
yeah.
said we
So
hashed it out, so I'm gonna call you
we
Brenda.
know who Brenda is. We know who Brenda is.
We
But
know.
yeah. So shout out to Keke, and the memoir is coming out soon. So make sure y'all support her when that is released. And yeah, you gotta report back with your the book signing for it.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be there.
All right, let's move on to our advice segment, Am I a Bad Queer? Where we get real about your questions and dilemmas. If you got something on your mind, don't keep it to yourself. Send your questions to us at badqueers.com. Hit us up on IG at badqueerspod or email us at badqueers@badqueers.com. All right, see this first one. Need to make this bigger. My eyes are getting bad because I'm getting older. Um, this first one is from, let's see, Ryan. Ryan
Wow.
Ryan's.
Wow, that aligned.
Ryan's, yeah. Am I a bad queer? I've been hooking up with someone who isn't out, and we've been keeping it a secret from everyone. I'm out and proud, but they're not ready, and I've been respecting that. Lately, though, it's been harder to deal with the secrecy, and I find myself lying to my friends about where I'm going or who I'm seeing. I don't want to pressure them to come out, but the sneaking around is getting messy. Am I a bad queer for keeping our relationship in the shadows, Ryan?
In the shadows.
I don't think you're a bad queer for it, but I don't think that I do think you should set a boundary that you don't want to keep doing this
Mm,
as someone who is out and
mm-hmm.
like, everybody has their own journey, and that person has to be comfortable and feel affirmed and safe enough to come out whenever they feel like they can, or they might not ever come out. But the sneaking around thing is like, if you want to do that, you gotta find someone else to do it. Like, you don't have to be a part of it. So you do have a choice here. You don't have to be with someone, even if you love them and you feel for them, where it's just like, hey, but our love's going to be like diminished or hampered in some way because you are in the closet. Um, and that affects you. So I guess it's up to you, Ryan, as to do you want to keep doing that or not? Like, you don't have to do this. I don't think it's like a bad queer thing. It's just like, how do you how do you want to live your life? I don't, some people actually do like that, and maybe they feel like bad queers for that. Some people do like to keep their, or don't mind keeping their personal life private for
Mm-hmm.
whatever reason. Um, but it doesn't seem like you're one of those people, and you don't have to be, so you don't have to be there. And maybe it might be a conversation of like, I would love to see where this goes when you are ready to come out or live more openly. But if not, like, best of luck. So yeah, I hope that helps. I don't know. You don't think they're a bad queer for this, do
No, I
you?
don't think
Like,
they're a
I
bad
feel like
queer for this.
it's
But
tough, but
I think because the relationship is causing you to end up being a liar and like more deceptive than you usually would, I think that is turning you into a bad queer in like the outside of the relationship part of it. But within the relationship, it's like, yeah, you're respecting the fact that they're not out. But if it's causing you to act in a way that you would not normally act outside of the relationship, then that is when it's time to have a conversation with your person to let them know what's happening and that you don't feel comfortable with it because clearly you took the time to write us, which means you don't feel good about it. And if you don't feel good about it, that means you are not I'm learning about this. You're not being your highest self. So if it's causing you to not be your highest self, then you should probably make some changes so that it can allow you to be your highest self. And that's on therapy this week.
all right, Ryan. Hope that helps. Happy holidays.
All right. Our next Am I a Bad Queer comes from Tori. Tori says, Am I a bad queer? I'm not a fan of public displays of affection, even when it comes to my own relationships, but in queer spaces, I feel like there's more pressure to show affection openly as a sign of pride or defiance. My partner loves holding hands and kissing in public, but I get uncomfortable with too much PDA. They say I'm ashamed of our relationship, but it's not that. I just don't like being overly affectionate in front of people. Am I a bad queer for feeling turned off by PDA? You're not a bad queer. I think you all just have to get aligned. It seems like there's a misunderstanding between the two of you because your partner thinks it's a shame thing and you're saying it's a comfort thing. So I wonder if you have actually said to your partner what it actually is and broken it down, not in the moment. Like you actually had a sit down conversation ahead of any time or day that you would be going out, maybe like it's during an at home date, and you all just sit and kind of have a conversation about what it actually feels like for you and the why behind it so that you all can
Yeah.
get on the same page because that's what it sounds like is a misunderstanding of what's happening and what you're feeling and she's taking it personally and the moment it continues to be taken personally is going to lead to resentment and you don't want that. So take steps back, have a conversation about it before it gets to the problem.
Yeah, that's sage advice. It's interesting because yeah, queer clubs, I don't know if it's pressure to show affection, but it's just like you see it more and it's like
Yeah,
you feel affirmed with it. But
I feel
yeah,
like
just
it
say
is
it's not
very
about
affirming and
shame.
defiance. Like I do think the defiance part where it's
Yeah.
just like, yeah, I get to be out and I get to do the things and like we don't get to actively do this without having to look over our shoulder and being in queer spaces. It's like I don't have to look over my shoulder. I can just do this. So why not do it to the 10th degree is what
Yeah.
I feel like some people are like and then they're like, "Whoa. I didn't
Yeah.
that's just me in general. No, thank
That's it.
you."
And that's what makes our community expansive and all that is like you don't have to feel like you need to do that because like there's going to be queer people who don't feel that way. Like I don't have a problem with PDA, but I'm not like going to get caught up in the like I don't feel like I have to be defiant in those ways or swept up in that or yeah, and those people who do like that's fine like because again it's very true like there's if you're in a space where you could do that and you really just can relax and it's like a safe space to do so, like why not? But you also don't have to do that. You could be on the other side of it where it's just like I don't want to show PDA here, and we don't have to. So just have that conversation with your partner, because it's not about shame or being scared or anything. It's just like it's not your thing. So, and that's fine too. So, there's enough queer people making out in the clubs. Like it's enough. You don't have to be there. It's enough. We've maxed out.
We're good.
Yeah. Can y'all make out? Not on the bar.
You're like, I'm just trying to get a drink.
I want my drink.
Drink.
And not in the bathroom either, because I'm actually here to pee. I'm here to pee. So thanks. Maybe that's a community note. All right. This last one is from Nico. Nico asks, am I a bad queer or am I a bad friend? I feel like that's like a new segment. Am I a bad queer or a bad friend? It's like very much a bad friend. My friend has been in a long-term relationship for almost 3 years, and 2.5 of them she has complained to everyone, and I mean everyone, about her relationship. Recently I told her she could just go ahead and break up with her, and she blew up at me. How do I continue to manage our friendship when she is letting her bad relationship pour over in all of her relationships, Nico? One of those. Yeah. How do I manage our friendship when she is letting her bad relationship pour all over into her relationships? This is another conversation thing. I don't know if y'all have conversations at points of when she's complaining about her relationship and emotions are heightened and it's like not the time to talk about it. Hopefully you don't, and maybe you have in the past and won't do it anymore. But like having another conversation outside of a high temperature moment could help in this, or at least let them know like, hey, I don't want to, I guess ultimately like communicating your boundary of like, I don't want to be a part of this. And like, if you're going to stay in this shitty relationship that you're like kind of choosing to stay in, or it sounds like you're choosing to stay in, leave me out of it. Like you could still be in a full relationship and really not, I'd rather not know details, because I can't say anything to help you. I can't say anything that's you're going to take action on. And I'd rather not just keep hearing about you complain about your partner. So there's a more eloquent way to kind of express that, but definitely setting, is everything. So setting and time that you bring this up matters. And again, like not doing it when they are complaining. But it is a conversation to be had, and it'll be interesting to see if your friend respects that or if they get offended. And if they do get offended, then there's larger problems and you got to think about the friendship a little bit more. But nothing more annoying than someone who complains about their relationship nonstop but doesn't leave, but insists on inviting you in, or again you get some displaced static and anger from it, but and they won't address it. So I don't know, Nico, it's a conversation to be had.
100% a conversation to be had. I think Kris's way, especially if you want to keep them in your life, then setting that boundary for yourself of asking them to not discuss the relationship anymore, because clearly there are no changes being made, and knowing for you, because boundaries are things that you control, not that you set on other people to do the things. So the boundaries are things that you control. Honestly, man, therapy is coming in hot this week. Boundaries are things that you control. My God.
That is the one. That is the one, though. Boundaries are things that
I think people forget. They'd be like, I set this boundary on this person and they broke it. And it's like, no.
They could give a fuck less about your boundary. No. It is your boundary.
It's your boundary. It belongs to you. And you are accountable for holding your boundary. So that means the boundary has to be an action that you take. You could tell your friend, if you start talking about your relationship and start complaining about your relationship, I will remove myself from the conversation. And that is how you set it up. So I do think there has to be something said for you if you're trying to keep this person in your life and hearing about the things. You might also just kind of like distance yourself for a little bit of time and let them handle the stuff and, switch it up. And sometimes you just need a little break from the people.
And sometimes that person is so deep in there. Obviously, relationships and love can be so complicated. So they might be lashing out because, again, they don't, the loss of control, all of the things that they lash out for, but they might be so deep in there. They don't even know how like wild they look from the outside. So sometimes like that space is like they have to examine like, why did my friend step back from this? Like, what is going on that I'm not seeing? And you know, that absence being like kind of speaking for itself. So
absolutely that.
Yeah, hope that helps. Happy holidays or whatever, you know, at this point, whatever. That was our advice segment. Don't know. Um somebody had tweeted like after everything that's happened, like I gotta let my mom pronounce the L in salmon. And my mom's
Oh
here
my God,
now for the next 3 weeks. And
stop.
I do, like I have to let her pronounce salmon that way because like what am I fighting for in this world? Say it, who cares? I have to let her have salmon, and then my years long battle with Chipotle for her. I don't know where the B comes from for it to be Chipotle or whatever she says.
What, Chipotle?
Yeah, like how does
Yeah.
that happen? But
Like I
honestly,
jokingly call it
let it
Chipotle,
go.
but I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's stuck.
But some people,
But
you know, yeah.
you gotta let them have that now. We're in a whole new world. You gotta let them have that now. So you
Honestly,
know,
it's like we have bigger things to fight for now. So we just have to,
yeah,
we should come up with a thing of things that we're gonna let go.
let go. Yeah, that'd be funny.
For the next
Yeah.
4 years, we're gonna let this go.
Could care less. Who cares? Who cares at this point? Like y'all are, who cares? Yeah.
Oh man, that's great.
There's the more serious things of like again, like no one could ever tell us that there's no race, like racism, sexism doesn't exist. But then there's the other things like where it's like, yeah, we gotta let that L stay in salmon. Like, why not?
There we
Like,
go.
who's gonna fight that anymore? So, anyways, send your questions to us, your dilemmas, and we'll try our best to answer them. So send your questions to us at backwards.com. Hit us up on IG at backwardspod or email us at backwards@backwards.com.
All right. What type of bad queers will we be if we didn't have unpopular queer opinions? My bad queer opinion this week is sourced from Gay Magazine. Shout out to Gay Magazine. They did a repost from another person who talked about the fact that we don't talk about down low women enough. And that I watched that video probably 3 to 4 times in a row because she made some great points about how down low women maneuver in the world and how they come in and can act like they're trying to be your best friend. And, you know, they're hitting you up like, hey, girl, you look so good, like hyping you up, gassing you up, doing all of the things. And then they try to slip in there.
Yeah.
And just use you and then lose you. Because that's all they want. They want a one and done and to keep it going. They're not sticking around. They're not doing anything else. And I thought about this. I thought about the fact that my coming out correlated with me being with a couple of down low women and how emotionally hectic, chaotic, unsafe it was to be talking and hooking up with these people.
Yeah.
Like I've never experienced so many like deception. I was like physical violence, like all of the things that just happened with these folks. And I was just like, we don't. Y'all are so down low that we talk about down low gay men more than we talk about down low women.
Yeah.
And I think we need to highlight and amplify more of these stories because they are out here roaming the streets, wreaking havoc on us, and then emotionally beating us up and tearing us down.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to talk about down low women, again, they don't even get talked about.
They don't get talked about ever. Their branding
ever
has been impeccable because they are literally just down low. Nobody's talking about them. Nobody's guessing that they're out here. Nobody even knows what they look like.
Nothing negative sticks to them at all. And like they can wreak havoc.
There's no stereotypes.
There's no stereotypes.
There's no like you can just clock them. Nothing. Nothing. They are just women of the night.
It's crazy. No, I mean, wake it up, you know.
We're talking about
it's a big thing. Yeah.
We're talking down low women. Because y'all are out here ruining it for all of us.
My backward opinion were just thoughts on this last week. Everything post-election has just been like interesting to absorb and gotta step in and step out of. One thing I think is interesting is like the whole fuck around and find out thing is like, yes, many of us subscribing to it and everything. And like after seeing the exit polls and how people voted and how there's a lot of panic going on with people who voted for Trump and didn't understand the gravity of how dangerous he was.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I think we all can agree, yes, fuck around and find out. Where it's been weird and it's been disheartening to see, and what's played into the hands of the very people who are about to oppress all of us is seeing people who voted for Harrison Walls or who are on the side and think that themselves to be good people to be rooting for and saying they're going to actively participate in deportations. Um,
Mm.
People who have said they don't care what happens to Palestinians now. Um, really hateful things, and they're trying to hide under the guise of like, well, you voted for this, so this is what you get. And again, not only is this like exactly what the other side wanted, but I just want them to understand that they were never for people if you thought that. Like if you could switch to that so quickly, is like you never respected them anyway, and how almost equally awful and dangerous that is to just like not care. Like, while yes, I'm like disappointed how Latino men voted and how IPOC people take that B out.
Mm-hmm.
IPOC people voted. I don't want people to get deported. I'm not going to cheer that on. Like,
Right.
that's crazy. That's not like what? Like, yeah, you're going to find like there's people cheering on the like our side of things. And it's like, I know we're all upset and everything. Um, but we all have to some extent like take some responsibility in like the game working in some level on all of us and how it's
Mm-hmm.
manifesting now, because it's just like if you could flip that quickly and be like, I can't wait until like there's I'm not even gonna repeat what she said, but even this the old black lady influencer who's on TikTok, she's this old black lady, and she said something just so nasty about Palestinians. And it's just like, I don't want that person on my side either. Like that's it's so evil. It's just a different type
Mm-hmm.
of evil. It's like a diet evil. It's still it's gross, but it also is like you purge those type of people that were like never really about caring for other people. I don't have to care so much or be so deeply involved in these communities to like care about them, like, you know, or what happens to them, the fate of them. Like, while immigration won't touch me and my family directly, I mourn for how this is going to play out for so many other families, because I think people are forgetting that, yes, though there were IPOC, even though IPOC folks did vote, more of them voted for Trump. Uh, there's so many more that didn't. And
Mm-hmm.
like what you're saying to these people who you're so mad at is like it also plays for them. Like they're gonna get there's a lot of good people who are gonna get deported. There's a lot of good people who are not gonna survive this administration. And it's just been disgusting to see how the fuck go around and find out like when it goes wrong. And I feel like that's what's been happening too. And it's been disheartening the last week to see that with people and just want to talk about it because it's just like, oh, like that's just equally disgusting. Like you're just like MAGA light, you know, it's like I can't understand it. And again, I understand the anger and I understand just the baseline of like, well, you get what you get. But
Mm-hmm.
I am not going to cheer on anybody being deported. I'm not going to cheer on genocide and the further, you know, just destroying people. I'm not, yeah, because I did it before and I'm not going to do that now. So
Yeah.
just wanted to name that.
Yeah. Plus the fun that was all of the people like the week of the election and the day of the election who were Googling if they could change their vote
Yeah.
is telling.
What are tariffs? It's like,
Which I was like, what?
what a terror. It's like they're trying to trick us.
What?
And that's also
These are the people that
the
are voting.
post-mortem that's like, let's not make this about race and sexism. Like most people said, the economy. It's bullshit because these people don't you pick the wrong person for the economy. So it doesn't, no,
Mm-hmm.
it's not rooted in those things. You can't say, oh, they wanted table, you know, kitchen table issues, where it's like, no, all these things. Trump spent $143 million on those anti-trans ads. And I saw somewhere, and I had to verify this, but they were like, especially like the, you know, the prison, gender affirming care in prison ads specifically that he was running in all these red states and during the World Series and during, you know, football games. I saw somewhere that they said that there are currently 29 transgender inmates in the prison system. I
Mhm.
don't know how accurate that number is. Sounds about right. So people let this man con them into giving their rights and money up for, you know, under 50 people, under 100 people. So this was never about the economy or securing the borders. Um, it's always been about hate. So I don't understand why people are turning up the hate just because it didn't go our way. But that is where we are. That
Mhm.
is where we are. I'm hoping that that starts to change. And it's not just, I mean, it's terrible emotional response to it, but I understand that it's been an emotional week, but just wanted to call that out. It's been nasty to see that. So
Mhm.
do better.
All right, well, let's go ahead and wrap up the show. But we would never leave you without giving shout outs to our faves. My shout out this week goes to Sex and Rage UK. It's an organization led by sex workers, educators, and activists. They resist stigma and shame as the main causes of sexual and gender based violence through sex education. They host a pop up lesbian strip club, wrestling, workshops. It sounds like a time, and I want to
It
go.
really does.
So you can follow them at xrage0001 and their location at xrage clubhouse on IG.
All right. This is a re-shout out to George M. Johnson. Shana had shouted out their latest release, Flamboyants, but I wanted to re-shout it out because I am currently reading it and it has been so helpful in affirming in the last week um, to read about just how Black and queer the Harlem Renaissance was, and connecting to that time and understanding that there's been hard times, there's been harder times, and we've lived through them. So shouting out flamboyance is something that folks can escape into and also learn something, especially during this time. And it's been like a comfort book. So
It's
shout out to
ironic
George.
because right now, shout out to George. It's ironic because right now I'm also reading Brittany Griner's book.
Oh, how is it?
What a time to be reading
Yeah.
it. I stopped and I'm like,
Yeah.
we're over here. I was like, man, I'm really glad that Joe Biden was in office when she got brought back because
Oof.
you would have been left. You would have been left. I don't even
Yeah.
believe because like it mentioned that like other people were trying to get involved and talk to those folks, but I was like, I think she would have ended up doing her full time
Oh, for
there.
a hundred
So
percent. And
I
that other
just,
person that Biden got out after that they had been trying to get out. That he
mm-hmm,
listen, as awful as he was in a lot of areas and that he should have bowed out before, like people are going to feel the full effects of like they did a lot of good things under the Biden administration. Um, but they couldn't communicate that and they dimmed it up. So,
mm-hmm. Yeah, the
but yeah,
marketing
they would
did
have.
not do what the marketing needed to do. Not
It
saying that they're
never
perfect,
does.
not saying
It
that they're
never does.
great, not saying that anything else
All
because
those
all of our
things.
presidents have done the things
Yeah.
besides Michelle, who is our unofficial president, but here we are.
Michelle's the
So
only one that's never done anything wrong.
honestly,
It's our
done
only
nothing wrong.
president. Yep.
Nothing
Yep.
wrong.
Yep.
Our
Yep.
unofficial president has
So,
done nothing wrong.
yeah,
You can say
nothing
nothing bad about
wrong
Michelle
at
at
all.
all. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We never
So
deserved her.
ever. And she knows that because she's sick of our
Yeah.
shit. And I'm
Hmm.
sick of our
Yeah.
shit. So
Mm,
so yeah,
mm, mm,
well,
mm.
uh that's the show.
That's
Thank
the
y'all so
show.
much for tuning in.
That's
Good
it,
times
child.
all
That's the show.
around. That's it. That's the show. And as always, we will see you next week.
Take care.